I've been a client of my heating and cooling company for about 12 years now. When I first purchased my house, there was absolutely no HVAC, there was no air conditioning or anything like that. So my heating and cooling company came in and they put all new ductwork, furnace, air conditioning in it. Fast forwarding 12 years, my air conditioning unit went out because I did not properly maintain it. So my heating and cooling company came and they said, yep, you need a new one. They were fast, professional, kind, courteous, gave me a really good deal. I felt like they were just taking care of me like they would, someone in their family. It was within, not even a week that I had a brand new unit. My house was nice and cool again. They came in, assessed the situation, thought that maybe they need to replace the furnace, and thankfully they didn't. They offered me the financing options, kind of ran through everything with me. Each person that came in my house explained to me what they were doing, kind of broke down the cost for me, just kind of made me feel at ease about kind of a big purchase that I was making that was necessary, but also I knew that they weren't taking advantage of me. I had also talked about, possibly getting my ducts cleaned and things like that, and I had found an ad somewhere, and I had talked to one of the guys that was in there, and they said, no, don't go with that. Cheaper is not always better, and he had explained to me about the company that my heating and cooling uses and how they actually had watched some demonstrations from them and the things that they do versus what some of the ads that you see in another, advertisement do, and how it can actually do more harm than good. So they came out, put the air conditioning in, and we were cool and happy. My mom, her air conditioning went out around the same time. So I said, well, why don't you try this place? And she's like, well, I've always used another company, and, I think I'm gonna get a different quote, and she ended up getting a quote from them, and they charged her just to come out and look at it, and it really wasn't even as good, and the price that they gave her wasn't as nice. It's just been a trusted company that I had used anytime I needed something, and it had been very reliable.
When my air conditioning went out, I called my daughter because she had such a great experience. And she gave me Rick's phone number, and they came out right away. I was very impressed with his kindness and professionalism. And he was $300 cheaper than the quote I had previously got, and he did not charge me for an estimate. And so I was really pleased with that. I have not had any problems since. It runs great. As a matter of fact, it's more efficient than what I had before. 2 weeks later, my mother, who's 87 years old, her air conditioning went out. And it went out over the 4th of July weekend. And Rick was out of town, but we placed the call, and it was a Sunday, and he called back right away, and he volunteered to send his brother out, Tim. Tim called my mom, and he said I'd be happy to come out, reassured her he would be out the first thing in the morning, but would be happy to come out to see if there was something he can do in the interim. And she said no, in the morning it's fine. Tim came out in the morning and looked at my mom's air conditioning unit, was able to bypass the unit and get it working so my mom would have air because it was 95 degrees outside. And she was so pleased, and she felt so safe and secure with them. It wasn't the unit that they needed replaced, it was just 2 parts. And it would have been very easy for Rick's team to say, no, you need a new air conditioner. But they went ahead and replaced the part, but they could have easily taken advantage of an elderly lady and said you need a whole new unit, but they just got the parts and put them in, and it was under $100, and she's never been so thrilled. A month later, my sister's unit just went out, and we just placed the call. She just placed the call because my daughter, myself, and my mother have been raving about Rick's company.
My heating and cooling company is now our heating and cooling company.